Hello and welcome to Sharon Local History. This is a video from potluck of Sharon Friends of Conservation, and Paul Lauenstein will tell you more about the part of their website that's dedicated to wildlife sightings in Sharon.
Yeah, you'll have to excuse me. I'm going to read from a script because I'm 74 and I can't memorize stuff very fast. So.
You're a youngster yet.
Sorry about that. And this takes about 15 minutes, so feel free to continue eating and enjoy the wonderful desserts over there. May 22nd is the United Nations International Day for Biodiversity. Well, what about the other 364 days of the year? About 15 years ago, the Sharon Friends of Conservation decided to engage people in sharing their observations and photos of our local wildlife on a year-round basis. We set up a page on our website that anyone can use to report their wildlife sightings. Anything wild and alive within the boundaries of Sharon is eligible for inclusion. Since then, we have posted over 1,300 sightings, representing approximately 600 species, but there are plenty more species in Sharon that we have not yet documented. Encounters with nature are unpredictable, so keep your camera handy. The wildlife sightings are organized into categories to make it easier to find things. The main categories are animals, insects and spiders, and plants. Each main category is divided into subcategories. There is also a chronological list of sightings by date, which can be searched if you want to find a particular sighting. Marshall Cattler photographed this lady's tresses orchid last September, the photo on the left. There are over 100 species of wildflowers on our website, including several species of wild orchids. One of the most spectacular is the pink lady slipper, which blooms in May. You can get an idea about when and where to find wildflowers by looking them up on our website. Please don't attempt to transplant wild plants. They are adapted to the conditions in the spot where they are growing and typically don't survive being transplanted. Yellow star grass is another example of the diversity of plant life found in Sharon's woods. Before photographing this wildflower, I'd never heard of blue-eyed grass. Indian cucumber root is an interesting woodland plant. Its roots are edible. Jack in the pulpit is another interesting woodland plant, but it is definitely not edible. Gaurav Shah photographed this crown-tipped coral fungus along a trail near Billing Street last July. Marshall Cattler took this photo of a marble orb-weaver spider. Spiders give me the creeps, but I have to admit, this one is beautiful. I took this photo of a snowberry clearwing moth last August. It was feeding on the butterfly bush in our backyard. I also encountered this red-spotted admiral butterfly in my backyard last August. We have about 75 species of moths and butterflies on the website. This white admiral is a color variant of the red-spotted admiral in the previous photos. David Kaufman encountered this spectacular Luna moth on June 20th last summer. Adult Luna moths only live for a few days, during which they mate and die. Maybe one of you will be lucky enough to see one this June. Bruce Lewis submitted this photo of a black racer last summer. Eldad Ganin spotted this monster snapping turtle basking on a rock in Hammershop Pond. Speaking of large wildlife, Emily Smith-Lee photographed this black bear trundling through her yard on Moose Hill Parkway on July 30th, 2022. Last year, Kurt Buerman and Richard Mandel took videos of a black bear in their yards on May 6th and June 24th. The videos can be seen on our website. Canada warblers have a necklace reminiscent of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. This one was migrating north through Sharon last May. Black-throated blue warblers also migrate through Sharon in May. This brightly colored Blackburnian warbler has caught a green caterpillar to help fuel its epic migration. Pine warblers nest in Sharon. I photographed this one last June. You can find them using a free cell phone app called Merlin that will tell you which birds are singing nearby. Prairie warblers also nest in Sharon. You can find them in June under the power lines that cross the Trustees of Reservation's Moose Hill Farm. Ever hear of a worm-eating warbler? We have them in Sharon. I heard this blue-winged warbler sing before I saw it along the boardwalk at Moose Hill. Will Sweet took this photo of a hooded warbler last May at Moose Hill, Audubon. Hooded warblers normally don't range north of Connecticut. This could be another sign of global warming. Hummingbirds nest in Sharon and feed at hummingbird feeders from late April until mid-September. They fly 2,500 miles back to Central America for the winter. I took this picture using a shutter speed of 1/5,000th of a second. Pileated woodpeckers are among the most spectacular birds in Sharon. This one had a nest in a dead tree at Moose Hill, Audubon. One day last January, as I was sitting at my desk in my house talking on the phone, I saw this young red-shouldered hawk land on the ground right outside my window. I picked up my camera with my free hand and took this photo. My friend John Bauer, who is an expert birder, helped me identify it. If you get a photo of wildlife in Sharon that you can't identify, submit your sighting using the form on the home page, and someone will help you identify it. Next, I'll present some of my favorite photos from past years. This osprey has a fish in one of its talons. It is landing on a cell tower by the composting area on Farnham Road, where it had built a nest and was raising its young. Barred owls are common in Sharon, but they are more often heard than seen. Their call sounds like, "Who cooks for you? Who cooks for you?" At midnight on June 28, 2011, Richard Kramer heard this young screech owl making a racket outside, so he grabbed his camera and got this photo. Then Zolo, who works at Moose Hill Audubon Wildlife Sanctuary, submitted this photo of a tiny softwet owl. He bands them to learn more about their movements. Eric Zanussi got this remarkable shot of a fisher cat in June 2020. I think some Zanuskis in our audience. Did you know that fisher cats are weasels, not cats, and they don't typically eat fish? The common name fisher cat is likely to have derived from early European settlers in their acknowledgement of the animal's superficial resemblance to the European polecat, which is sometimes referred to as a fichet or a fish. This black swallowtail butterfly perched on a wild grapevine at Moose Hill Farm. This tiger swallowtail was feeding on a thistle blossom at Gavin's Pond Dam. This American copper butterfly was feeding on a daisy blossom in our yard. The field at Morris and Lakeview is a good spot to find butterflies. This is a chrysalis of the Baltimore checker spot butterfly. This is the adult Baltimore checker spot butterfly. This great spangled fritillary butterfly was also seen in the same field. So was this spice bush swallowtail butterfly, which was feeding on a milkweed blossom. Flowering crabapple trees are a good place to look for colorful warblers and orioles because the blossoms attract insects that the birds eat. Here's an acrobatic blue-winged warbler and a flowering crabapple. If you spend time in the woods during the songbird migration, sometimes you get lucky. This is a chestnut-sided warbler. Indigo buntings can be found in summer under the high tension lines near Moose Hill Farm. Scarlet tanagers are common in Sharon, but seldom seen because they live in the woods. To find them, learn to recognize their song. Brown creepers climb up tree trunks looking for insects, but they can only climb upwards, so when they reach the top, they fly back down and start over. Blue-gray gnatcatchers are smaller than chickadees. Note the divide in its breast feathers for exposing its warm skin to incubate its eggs. Bobolinks require large meadows. Sometimes bobolinks can be seen in the cattle pasture at Moose Hill Farm. I took this photo of a female cardinal out our kitchen window. Josh Simons, and I think he's here tonight, photographed this Ross's goose at on Wallamallapaug Pond. This species is seldom seen in Massachusetts, so birders flock to Sharon to see. Believe it or not, in May 2013, this white pelican showed up at Lake Nassau. As this range map shows, white pelicans don't normally visit Sharon. Our website has several bald eagle sightings. Richard Kramer took this photo near Lake Nassau. We have reptiles and amphibians at Sharon. This northern water snake is basking at the Gavin's Pond Dam. Marcia Tranovich sighted this harmless milk snake warming itself in her garden. When threatened, milk snakes sometimes vibrate their tails in dry leaves to imitate the sound of a rattlesnake. Box turtles are a species of special concern in Massachusetts. Much of the box turtle habitat in Sharon has been lost to development, such as the new mall going in across from Shaw's Plaza. When I saw this one crossing South Main Street, I stopped the car and moved it off the road. This red F was crossing Moose Hill Street on Big Night at the end of winter, when amphibians head for wetlands and vernal pools to mate and deposit their eggs. Bruce Lewis found this yellow-spotted salamander on the road near Moose Hill Farm in March 2022, was heading for a nearby wetland to spawn. This white sucker was trying to ascend Sucker Brook to spawn in mid-April, but the culvert under Maspog Avenue got in its way. Kurt Buerman worked with the Boy Scouts to build a fish ladder to solve the problem. The leaves of bird's foot violets are shaped like bird's feet. They bloom in early spring, so they should be blooming about now. Rita Corey found this downy rattlesnake plantain beside a trail on Rattlesnake Hill. Although its leaves are shaped like those of plantain weeds, downy rattlesnake plantain is not a plantain. It is a member of the orchid family. Rita Corey also found this cardinal flower growing in a dry stream bed. And Rita's here, I think. Thank you for those contributions, Rita. Dwarf ginseng was used by Native Americans as a herbal remedy. This late purple aster was blooming in the fall under the high tension wires near Moose Hill Farm. Field horsetail is an ancient plant species that has endured since the age of the dinosaurs. Sharon has beautiful mushrooms, but many are poisonous, so don't eat them unless you know what you're doing. Chicken of the woods is an edible fungus that grows on trees. Large specimens can weigh upwards of 80 pounds, but the smaller ones taste better. Susie Levinson snapped this shot of a bobcat ambling through her yard on Billings Street in June 2014. A few years ago, 3 young red foxes showed up in our backyard. This one seemed unsure about whether the neighbor's cat would make a good playmate or a good meal. Elon Fisher made a wonderful video of red fox kits in his backyard. The link is on our website in the mammal section of the wildlife sightings. Sharon also has gray foxes, one of only 2 canid species in the world that can climb trees. A canid species, of course, is a dog-like animal. This peculiar insect is a grape-leaf skeletonizer moth. This photo from the internet shows grape-leaf skeletonizer larvae skeletonizing a grapefruit. The Halloween pennant is one of over 30 species of dragonflies on our website. The bright green eastern pondhawk dragonfly is another. In addition to dragonflies, our website features many beautiful damselflies, such as this turquoise bluet. Sharon residents pay high taxes, but at least we don't have to fly to Africa to go on safari. The possibilities for discovering wildlife here in Sharon are endless. You can find trail maps on our website. Free cell phone apps such as Merlin and Seek make it much easier to find and identify birds, plants, and other wildlife. With binoculars, a good camera, and plenty of patience and persistence, you'll be amazed at all the photogenic wildlife you can find in Sharon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paul.
So I hope you enjoyed this, and you can also be part of this, and you can submit your photographs to Sharon Friends of Conservation. This is linked to their website, easy to find. Thank you for watching Sharon Local History.